What's up, friends? How y'all doing? Hope y'all are doing well. My name is Jesse Hughes, and I want to say thank you all for watching another video again, and thank you for watching another video that I'm getting ready to produce. And if this video is inspiring, if this video is engaging and enlightening, hopefully this video will encourage you and cause you to laugh, cause you to think about a lot of things. And if this video does those things to you, I want you to like, I want you to give me a thumbs up, I want you to give me a comment, share it. I want you to subscribe to my channel, and I will continuously to give you some content that will be beneficial to us as being humans, beneficial to us as being in relationships and as it pertains to our spouse. But I'm thinking about a book that was written several years ago. I don't know the exact time it was written, but it talks about that men are from Venus and women are from Mars, or vice versa. And it talks about relationships. It talks about how men process emotions differently than a woman, how men handle emotions differently than a woman. And I'm thinking about that also. The reason why a man is handling emotions differently than a woman handling emotions because women are estrogen driven and men are testosterone driven. Their estrogen will cause them to go through a certain situation and it will begin to be processed in their brain differently than a man who is testosterone driven, as it being played in their brains differently. So women and men are processing emotions differently, in this day and time. Not alone in this day and time, 20 years ago, men process emotions differently than a woman. Therefore, you've got to understand and realize that we're not going to handle emotions. We're not going to handle the stresses of life. We're not going to handle depression all the same, because it's being triggered in their brain a certain way, and it's being triggered in our brain a certain way. You've got to understand and realize that that was even with the beginning of time, that men would always go out and they would kill the animal. They would kill the deer, they would kill the lamb, they would kill the cow, and they would bring the meat home to the wife, and the wife would cook it. The wife would have to prepare it for the meal, and the men would always was the conqueror. They would always go out, so they didn't have to deal with a lot of different emotions. They didn't have to deal with a lot of different feelings as it pertains to the emotional driven state of a man, because they would just go out and conquer the animal. But women would stay at home with the kids. They will be feeding the kids. They will be training the kids. They will be teaching them certain values and certain traditions that men didn't have to worry about that, because they was out killing the bacon and they was bringing the bacon home to the woman. So there was a different type of handling certain things that men did differently than a woman. And I'm thinking about that also when it comes to emotions, when it comes to our mental faculties. Mentality and emotions is something that holds the relationship together, that holds is the foundation that we can build a good relationship on, is the emotions and the mentality of a person. Because if you get into a relationship, if you get into a place where you're not being emotional to that woman, you're not being there for that woman to cater to her emotions, be there to strengthen her in her emotional state, then they'll begin to crack, they'll begin to go down. Therefore, you got to understand that being emotionally secure and being emotionally stable is something that we should always be there for the woman. We should be there to be emotional support for the woman. But also, we got to understand and realize that we handle emotions differently than a woman. We process emotionally as in the sense of, I need to feel as though I'm needed. I need you to feel as though you need me. I need to feel as though you're appreciating me. It's important to know that when a man work 18, 12 hours at work, he comes home, he want to find some quiet time. He want to find some time where he can, kind of relax. He can kind of kick his heels back and kind of, from the stressful day at work, he want to come home where it's peace and quiet. He don't want to come home to a nagging woman, a nagging wife, a nagging spouse saying, well, you need to do X, Y, and Z. For if the man get to that point, he say, well, I can go back to the job and be stressed out. I can be, emotional aggravated if I could have stayed at the job for all this. Therefore, you got to understand, in order to have a man's emotional, they processing it to the sense of, I want us to feel as though you appreciate me. If I paint a house, if I paint a room, it might have streaks all in the room, might have streaks all on the wall, but at least tell that man, baby, you did a good job. I love my room. I love the way it looks. You did, I'm so happy that you did this for me. It might be the worst paint job in the world, but at least show the man that you appreciate him. Show the man that you love him. Show the man that, although, you didn't do too good of a job, I appreciate you for trying. And then that would cause a man to later on want to do more in the house. That would cause a man to want to not only paint in the house, but he might want to put some floors down. He might want to, do something with the ceiling. He might want to, just tidy up the house. But you got to show that man that you appreciate him. Show that man that you love him. Show that man that you need him. Not only that, a man needs to do the same thing for a woman. You don't get to the point where a woman is coming home from work, a stressful day's work, and, she's being aggravated at the job, and you started aggravating her when she come home from work. You said, well, baby, you got to clean up. You need to do this. You need to tidy up the house or whatever the case is. The woman just have 8-10 hours of stressful work. She need to come home and kind of relax herself, have it to the point where Cal gonna take me away. So in order to understand a man, in order to understand a woman, we've got to make sure that we're catering to that person's emotional state, because emotional plays an important part in a relationship. A man and a woman don't need to be stressed out at work, stressed out on the job, and then come home and be stressed out, because that would cause friction, that would cause tension, that would cause a place where I'm going to go back to the job. I'm going to not only go back to the job, I'm going to go somewhere else where I can have peace and where I can have quietness, or I can have a type of tranquility. For the Bible says in the book of Proverbs, it's better for a man to dwell on the housetop than to be in the whole house with a brawling or aggravating woman. It is important to know that in order to keep a good relationship, in order to keep a good marriage, in order to keep a good spouse or a happy couple, you've got to make sure that you're catering to that person's emotional needs. Not only you catering to that person's emotional needs, you're not aggravating them, you're not annoying them, you're not getting on their nerves every time you turn around, because that would drive a man, that would drive a woman to say, I'm going to go somewhere else and find some type of tranquility. I'm going to go somewhere else and find a type of release from all this stress that I'm going through, because a woman is stressed out enough when they come home, and then they have to cater to the kids. They have to make sure the kids have their homework, make sure that the kids are being fed, make sure that the kids are being bathed properly, make sure that the house is being tidied up before they go to work the next day. And men, you don't want to be aggravated also, as in when they come home, they have to hear you nag them. They have to hear you, get to the point where, you got to do X, Y, and Z. That's why we've got to always find a common ground to be able to support that man, be able to support that woman, and, be that support system. Because in the sense of a lot of stresses that are going on in society, that's why people are committing suicide. That's why the people are breaking up and going through different marriages. It's breaking up and leaving the man and leaving the wife, because they are not being emotionally supported. They're not being emotionally, taken care of. But we've got to get to the point where my husband, my wife, my boyfriend, my girlfriend, I'm going to support you emotionally, because, I need you to be strong in this era, because I need you, because one day I might be going through my issues. I might be going through my emotional state. I might be going through a point where I need you to be my shoulder, to be my rock, be my leaning post. So I need you to be there to support me, and by me supporting you and you supporting me, we can build a strong relationship. We can build a strong marriage. We can build a strong friendship. But we've got to get to the point where I'm going to support you emotionally. I'm going to support you mentally. I'm going to be there for when the chips are down, when it seems as though you have no strength, you have no type of mentality where it's getting too heavy for me. I'm going to be your rock. I'm going to be your shoulder. I'm going to be your ear to listen to everything that you're going through. And when you begin to be that support for that husband, when you begin to be that support for their wife, when you begin to be that support for the spouse, then you can build a strong, happy, nurturing relationship. But first, you've got to get to the point where I'm going to support you in everything that you do. Even if you're going through a lot of mental stress, mental aggravation, I'm going to be your support system. I'm going to be there to be your shoulder and your rock. And I promise you that if you be there to support that person mentally and emotionally, that they will turn around and support you and be all that you need. So I want to let you all know that if I say something today or tonight, whenever you watch this video, give me a like, give me a comment, give me a thumbs up. You know, even subscribe to my channel and say, Jesse, I'm going to support my spouse. I'm going to support my boyfriend or girlfriend because they're going through a lot and I'm going through a lot. But together, we can build a happy and healthy relationship. So until this time, next time, I want to say God bless you, and God bless you.